Hey, what's up everybody? It's Crystallea Monroe, your hydro girl here at Indoor Growers in Jacksonville, and today we have a smart treat for you. We have Mike Ellson, who is a soil scientist, and help me with this word.
An agronomist.
Agronomist. Okay, cool. So he is experienced soil scientist with the understanding of soil. How do I pronounce that word again, Mike?
Soil cation base saturation balance.
Okay, there you go. He is going to be sharing some things from balanced soil fertility, which he says might take some time to understand and a little bit of research, but it's not impossible. He has been able to test a wide range of soils in other countries and in the position to see the chemical and physical relationships of what now?
Oh, a big difference in soils, from acid soils to alkaline soils, from sandy to clay to rich, loamy, or glacial till soils.
Pretty much all kinds of soil.
A lot of times, yes.
Awesome. He's done this in states like Florida, Colorado, Iowa, Hawaii, and Montana, Nebraska. So when it comes to experience, he is beyond that. He's also an active gardener and going to share some secrets from Dr. William Albrecht principles, correct?
Yes, Dr. Albrecht, yes.
Okay, so if you are into knowing about the fathers of good soil scientists, or just into knowing what you're growing in, Mike Ellson here has some answers. So Mike, the product that you want to talk about today that is a gardening secret is AZOMITE, correct?
Yeah, AZOMITE or AZOMITE, depending on what country you're in.
Oh, okay, all right, awesome. What is so important about AZOMITE?
Oh, AZOMITE is a trace mineral that it's a supplement that's fed to both livestock as well as soils, and it contains about 70 minerals. There's about 99 minerals, but a lot of our soils are being depleted in several of these minerals, and so with them being deficient, the plant cannot thrive like it can if it has a full capacity, as well as the microbial activity, the bacteria and stuff in the soil to take care of the soils for the plant.
So if there was something missing from the soil that was depleted and you really wanted to grow a super plant, AZOMITE could add those extra things.
Yeah, it has, and it is adding those extra things. It's now sold in over 30 countries all around the world as a fertilizer, soil amendment, feed ingredient. So it's a very big product. It's produced in Utah. So we're quite a long ways from Utah here in Florida, but it's well worth getting some and getting it applied.
And how did someone like you discover these secrets?
Well, I've been growing things for a long time. Let's just put it that way. And as a soil scientist and agronomist, I'm also pulling soil samples and looking at the recipe for the perfect soils over the years. And I've looked at the good and the great and the bad and the ugly as far as that goes. I guess it was kind of wisdom passed on to me by a guy that had been at it 10 years longer than me. The older generation can pass a lot of good wisdom down if you just want to listen. And that's what happened. This guy gave me some AZOMITE to try, and just like same thing he said happened to him, he put it in his garage for a while before he tried it. I put it in my garage before I tried it too. But when I tried it, I saw a big plant response. The new growth was coming out darker and greener within just a few weeks, and the plants were just like saying thank you, and the leaves were getting bigger. The plants, diseases and things like that on the plant were going away. It was just a real happy thing.
You told me about a secret about another beneficial thing that AZOMITE does. Was it the gnats?
Yeah,
Spider growth? Which was it?
Well, AZOMITE makes all kinds of pests go away. Actually, it's very good on spider mites. We're using it on citrus trees for the Asian psyllid. They don't like to feed on healthy plants as well.
And this is natural,
Yeah.
so non-harming to the plants.
Not one bit. In fact, the plants love it, and the good thing is it's seeing big yield boosts in both the amount of the production, the number of flowers, the number of fruit, the size of the fruit,
like a bloom booster kind
yeah,
of.
the nutritional value is also going up. So it not only looks better, it's better for you.
Awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about the really cool history and legends, and maybe even like a secret health tip that people could also use AZOMITE for?
Oh yeah. AZOMITE is, we think, around at least 30 million years old when this volcano spewed out an ash cloud into a valley south of Salt Lake City, Utah, and at the same, in the same era, the waters were coming in, and there was a great sea out there that submerged or filled this ash bed, even up with further minerals from both the ocean and the volcano. So you're getting stuff deep from the earth as well as
from the magic ocean.
From everything in the ocean and the rivers that were running down out of the mountains, taking more minerals and rock dust into there. And there was microbial oxygen and little baby shrimp and all that, those other crustaceans or whatever was around 30 million years ago that were coming into play too. But this deposit was formed and later pushed up by tectonic activity, and then all of a sudden they have it's called the pink rocks, what they call them out there. It's the legend of the pink rocks was passed down from the Native American Indians because they recognized that AZOMITE had healing powers too. They would come for long distances to chip up AZOMITE and take it home and use it in their little potions to heal themselves, as well as plant it with their corn and squash and whatever they were doing out in the native Southwest. So in roughly the 1940s, a geologist had heard about these Indian legends. He went to explore the area, and he took some of this stuff and took it to a buddy of his who checked it out, who worked for the Bureau of Mines at the time, who knew about minerals, and the guy knew right away, hey, this is good stuff. And so they compared it to other formations and couldn't find one quite like it because of the unique volcanic seed combination that we were getting out there. So this guy came along and started putting it on soils and feeding it to animals, and seeing the animals really liked to be supplemented with AZOMITE too. The chickens laid bigger eggs and better, harder shells, and they laid longer and they laid sooner. So it really goes back a long ways. The guy, you'll see a picture at the end where his corn before was about head high, and after he put AZOMITE, his corn was head high, and then another guy was standing on a tractor, and it was as tall as the guy's head that was standing on top of the tractor. So it really made some drastic yields changes. Yeah,
that's so awesome. That's something that since us humans and plants, we're both living things, like is beneficial to it could be used for us and for the plants, you know. That shows that it's natural organicness, you know. And I think you were telling me some other ways that it could be used as well, like aquaponics, hydroponics, if you're making your own super soils. Like, it's pretty much a go with everything kind of thing to have around, isn't it?
You'll definitely want it in your hydroponic mix, and you'll definitely want it in your seed starting mix, and we blend it in our compost. Get it in your compost. Your compost loves it. Get it in your body, because this one of my favorite cookbooks, Nourishing Traditions, was published over 15 years ago, and the author said, oh yeah, all these people take a teaspoon in a glass of water every day to remineralize themselves. The company doesn't really market it as a human feed ingredient, but it is sold for chickens and shrimp and all that stuff, wink wink. So
That's really awesome because there's not a lot of additives for things like
Yeah.
aquaponics, because when you're dealing with fish and stuff, you have to be really careful to care for the fish properly.
Yeah.
But you also want to have like super plants. So
Yeah, and
it's cool that it's safe for them and safe for the plants, because that's not something you come across all the time. Where can we find it?
hey, we can find it at Indoor Growers at Crystal's store, and
Oh, on the web, where you can find this is pretty easy. You can go to AZOMITE.com, and Mike Ellison's website is AmericanAgSolutions.com, and that is www.AmericanAgSolutions.com. And also here at Indoor Growers in Jacksonville, we will have all of your pamphlets and your information. And Mike, is there anything else that you want to share with us?
Just the visual evidence proves it. If you look at the satellite images across the country, you'll never see a deeper, darker green than you find in the fields around where the azomite is mined. Very important to get these minerals into our food system, because since 1975, the nutrient in our say broccoli, for instance, has gone down about 50% according to some studies. So we don't want to miss out on this stuff. It's good for your body. It's good for your health and your everything, keeping everything going, and your children.
Speaking of your body, there is a really awesome fact to know about azomite that I forgot that Mike shared with me. You can actually take a healthy teaspoon of this, mix it in water, and it provides your body with the minerals and things like that it could be depleted from. So it's like a fountain of youth in a bottle as well, for those of you who care about your plant's health and your health. Again, you can find this on Mike's website, AmericanAgSolutions.com. You can go to AZOMITE, and you can come to us here in Jacksonville, Indoor Growers, for more information, and we will be glad to get your plants back to the superness that they need. Again, this is Crystallea Monroe here with Mike Ellson, a soil scientist, and we'll be back at you next week, man.